You say, late afternoon meeting with the PM on schools. My God, this is complicated. Models will not provide the answer. PM is clearly bamboozled. PM asking whether we've overdone it on the lethality of this disease. He swings between optimism and pessimism, and then this. PM still confused on different types of test. He holds it in his head for a session, and then it goes. Watching PM get his head round stats is awful. He finds relative and absolute risk almost impossible to understand. PM struggled with whole concept of doubling times, just couldn't get it. Claire Gardner going through the PM graph, talked PM through the graphs. It's difficult. He asked questions like, which line is the dark red one? Is he colourblind? Then, so you think positivity has gone up overnight? Oh, and oh God, bloody hell. But it's all the same stuff he was shown 6 hours ago. Taken through the graphs, real struggle to get him to understand them. The message that we get from these repeated entries appears to describe something, at least as far as the Prime Minister is concerned, more serious, a repeated failure to understand graphs, scientific concepts and so on, forgetting things that had been explained to him only a few hours earlier, repeatedly.
Well, I think I'm right in saying that the Prime Minister at the time gave up science when he was 15. And I think he'd be the first to admit it wasn't his forte, and that he did struggle with some of the concepts, and we did need to repeat them often. I would also say that a meeting that sticks in my mind was with fellow science advisors from across Europe, when one of them, and I won't say which country, declared that the leader of that country had enormous problems with exponential curves, and the entire phone call burst into laughter because it was true in every country. So I do not think that there was necessarily a unique inability to grasp some of these concepts with the Prime Minister at the time, but it was hard work sometimes to try and make sure that he had understood what a particular graph or piece of data was saying.
Mr. Johnson, it hardly needs saying, was the man who was making decisions that had incredibly broad impacts on the whole country. And it was critical, was it not, that he did understand the advice that he was being given?
Yes, but I think there was a problem in scientific understanding, and it's not unusual amongst leaders in Western democracies.